What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Venomcast. I'm your host, John K. Back after being homeless for many, many months, as you'll notice. To my right, I think. I don't know. Fuck it. F it. Whatever. Kyle Zittle, my co-host. Hi, Kyle. Good to be back with you.
Good to be back.
I love your background. I especially love that picture over your shoulder. Yep, that one. Good call.
Right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Notice I didn't try and say a side because I'm dumb. Joining us this week, we have two very special guests. They are the newest members of the Venom family, whether they like it or not. They get paid to be here, so I think they're pretty happy about it. Mr. Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson, or Will Williamson as somebody likes to call him. Welcome, guys. This is very cool to have you. I'm glad you guys decided to be a part of this. I'll put in applause, so that's cool. I don't know. I'll probably forget, but it's fine.
Or booze. Maybe throw the tomatoes.
Yeah, booze. Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah, these guys, if you have not been watching, you really should. These guys are awesome. I think our broadcast in last season was pretty good, but these guys take it to an absolutely different level. It has been a lot of fun. Obviously, I have not raced since Michigan. I've been in the process of moving. I now have a place. I have an apartment, as you can see behind me. Yeah, I get to pay $600 a month to play iRacing, basically. That's the price you got to pay sometimes. But yeah, so we're back, and we had actually recorded a podcast while I was home, but somebody forgot to make sure the outputs were correct. So, yeah.
That was you.
That is me. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to take a quick second to double check and make sure.
Oh, gosh.
It's funny because on my screen, Kyle pointed to Matt, and I just assumed it was Matt's fault.
I don't know. It's really weird because I have a camera that's actually pointing at me, but it's still reversed. I'm just very confused at what's happening.
They are right. I might just leave that in. I really don't care. It is what it is. People can see me, make sure that I'm doing things right. Yeah. First episode jitter, man. I'm nervous. But yeah, so these guys below me on my screen, they have been phenomenal, and I wanted to bring them in so that we could get to learn a little bit about them, and they can talk about their experience with the Venom Truck Series, because obviously me and Kyle are very biased. We've been around. Oh, Kyle, how long have you been here? Have you been here since season 1?
I joined late season 1. I ran 3 of the last 5 races.
Okay, and then I joined it literally the day of the first race, which has been well documented because I've talked about my experience being welcome to the league. Yeah, so you guys are new, and I'm very curious to find out how you guys feel about us as a crew, and yeah, we're just gonna. I'm excited to hear it. This Venom is very near and dear to my heart. If it wasn't, I wouldn't do this podcast because it would be pointless. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for putting up with the technical difficulties of me being an idiot. And I think that's where we're going to start. We're going to start off with what your guys' experience has been with us so far, and how much are you enjoying it? Or, I mean, if you are disliking it, you can tell the people. We'll get hate. It's okay. But yeah, we'll start there.
I can't stand it. It's awful.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. At least somebody has the courage to stand up and say it. Finally, God.
No, it's great. I have absolutely no complaints. I don't know about you, Matt. You seem to take the brunt of the workload every week, and I just get to sit here and have fun. So
That's
and
true.
get your
That's
bank account hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more against Tommy than you guys. But I go back to, like, when we're about to broadcast a new league, we can tell pretty much right away whether it's going to be a good fit or not. And number one for us, me and Tommy love it, is the ball busting that goes on in the Discord server is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we saw that, we were like, this is perfect. We're going to fit right in. So
yeah,
nobody
is safe from being ball busted. in
No.
Discord. It doesn't matter if you race once a season or every race. You're not safe if you get brought up in conversation. It'll be an adventure, that's for sure. We have a lot of adventures, is what I'll call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've raced 12 races this season. Is that right?
Yeah.
Iowa was
Yes.
the first one. Obviously, I was on the sideline watching most of them. I love the broadcast. Make sure to check it out. That's what I wanted to say earlier. If you're not watching, make sure to go over to Turn 200 Tuesday nights, about 8 o'clock. Check them out. They've got good content other than that, too. All the other series. Truck 200 is a lot of fun to go back and watch now that I'm racing. Is RIL Daredevils? Am I saying that right? I think I was saying RAL for the longest time. The Daredevils are a lot of fun to watch. And your guys' NASCAR podcast now, starting up with the season starting, is a lot of fun to watch. These guys are awesome. I'm a big fan. So I gotta know, there's been a lot of action-packed racing. Some of the finishes have been crazy. I know we'll talk about a couple of them here in a little bit. What has been your favorite race of the season so far to broadcast?
Man, I mean, Daytona was good. Daytona was really good. Like you couldn't ask for a better like intro to the series. Like everybody got up front, everybody got airtime. Crazy finish, Gainey doing somersaults in the catch fence. Like it had just a little bit of everything. That was great. Honestly, like that first, like the first four races of the season, like back to back to back to back, were like all great in their own right. I don't know that we've had really any like races that I would consider like boring or bad or anything. Certainly races that have been more entertaining than others, but like every race has had something for somebody, which is like that's the reason why you do it, really.
Right.
Yeah, I think early on Daytona obviously is good, but Michigan, that finish at Michigan was unbelievable, and it was
thanks,
kind of
John.
the first time.
It wasn't even my fault.
No.
Oh my gosh. It was the first time that Tommy and I got to see, like, because we have those sorts of finishes in the Daredevil series pretty much every week where it's just something ridiculous happens, and it was the first one of those that we got, and those are just so fun. So that was one right out of the gate. It was like, well, here we go. Here's another series. It's just action-packed as any other one. So it was that one, that finish specifically was a great one.
Yep.
I'll agree with that because I got to benefit. That was up until this past week, the only race that I've gotten to run. Had some unfortunate family circumstances come up, had to go back home. And I was like, you know what? I'm going home. I'm gonna need something to take my mind off of what's going on. So I was like, oh, we'll take the PC up there and race. And me and Garrett were getting after it, coming to the end late there, and yeah. So you guys are welcome for the good finish. Sorry to like Ryan and Steve and Nathan and everybody else that got caught up in that. Although I'm not gonna say sorry to Chad. I'll say you're welcome to Chad. I still got a top 10 out of that. I would like to point out too. I don't know how. I just drove. I just held on to it. Truck was hurt. Phoenix was another one early in the season. I don't know what race it was, even though I have Discord pulled up on my phone.
I think it was the fourth.
3 or 4, yeah.
Was it 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
4.
That was 4. We had like 18 people run out coming to the line.
Yep.
And that was crazy. I wasn't expecting that. Like, Facebook Messenger blew up with like Nathan and Ryan saying stuff, and I was like, "What the heck even happened?" And I had to go back and watch it the next day. And I was like, "Wow, that is incredible."
Yeah.
It's been such a wild season, I feel like, because every race has had such long green flag runs, and like we've had that in the past, but I feel like strategy is so much more important this season.
Yeah, there have been times. There have been just times when you're just thinking, like, when am I gonna have to make a pit stop? When am I gonna have to decide to, put a strategy into play? And the second you start thinking about it is when a yellow comes out or something stupid happens. You're just like, all right, well, Never mind.
Yeah, I think
listen to the commentator curse.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh boy.
It felt like for a couple of weeks there, every time you guys talked about somebody, it was like, oh, they're in the wall. Oh, they're getting spun. Oh, they're running out of fuel and stuff like that's happening.
Yeah, I think that the top 2 victims, one of them is on this podcast right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Michael Krall has been like the most like talk about him, and all of a sudden he is like in the fence or like getting spun out or something. It's just like
Pocono specifically, I think.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis
Like,
was the other finish that,
yes,
coming to the finish was another like, especially after I don't know when it was the week of Christmas or just before Christmas, watching the IRL finish at Indianapolis and just sitting there staring at my phone going, y'all need to watch this. The entire field just wrecked. And I mean the entire field. Hopefully we don't have anything like that. Cue Indianapolis.
Are we even allowed to talk about Indianapolis? Like, is that a thing? Are we gonna get?
I don't think you can show it. But
I mean the four-sided speedway in Indiana.
Yeah, that one. It's very famous for being famous. And milk, which is funny because that's also the reason Kyle Zittle's famous is for cheese. I'm sorry. Nobody knows your puns. Yeah, Kyle's from Wisconsin. For anybody that didn't get that.
Lovely.
Yeah,
love the cheese.
Yeah, everybody loves cheese. That's why everybody loves Kyle.
The curds are amazing.
You're welcome.
So this past week, you guys also run a truck league, Truck 200, which is on Monday nights. It's been a lot of fun. Get to run a couple of races there. I missed out on Watkins Glen, which I was very much so looking forward to, but you know, being homeless sucks. Doubleheader in Iowa this week for both leagues. I think Tommy said like 300 plus laps of green flag running.
In a row. Yeah.
The Venom race was crazy because it was so different setup wise. I mean, you guys used your own setup, different track conditions. It was like we got done running Iowa and there was a practice session up from Paul putting it up, and we all jumped over there and we're like, God, we have to like completely relearn how to run the track.
Relearn it, yeah. I can imagine.
Especially with it getting, it went from dark and the track being not like super hot but decently warm to getting a lot of rubber put down on it, and it started out super duper loose. It really tightened up as the race went along, and you had everybody moving around trying to find different lines. I love Iowa. I'm sit here and say that. I'll say it all day long. I love that track. It's so much fun because you can run everywhere. Zittle, I know you had a a rough evening at the little track.
Yeah, my wife came home about halfway through. I peeked around just like this, and I said, "Hey, guess what I did? I tore the wall down."
That's been your home season, though, I guess.
Yeah, I've been dubbed. Nathan Reynolds has dubbed me Martin Zittle Jr. 2022 edition. So we'll just keep fighting. We'll keep fighting.
Is that better or worse than being comparing yourself to Kyle Busch?
I don't know. At this point, I don't really know.
Obviously, well documented. Zittle, really decent, and then won a race, and then can no longer be called really decent. I think it's fair to say you can go back to being called really decent.
If that's what I got to do to win, I can go back to having my old moniker.
Okay. Really decent Kyle Zittle, everybody. He's back. Hopefully it brings you some good luck. I had a fun race. Managed to not hit the wall until late. I was running Andy down. I did not realize the battle for the lead was so intense because that's all I could think when the caution came out was, wow, me and Andy are going to have some great TV time. Little did I know. Everybody else was battling in front of us. I ran Andy down from like a second, which surprised me because Andy's really good on old tires, and I haven't raced in 3 months. So I was like, I'm just gonna get. He like drove away from me a little bit, and I was like, bye, never gonna see you again. And then started coming back to me, and then the caution came out. I was like right on his bumper. I was like, oh man, killing me, absolutely killing me. But yeah, and then I beat him off pit road, and then he still finished in front of me. And
no.
shout out to Nathan, because Nathan's the only reason I got a top 5, because he looped it on purpose. He literally came. He was going
that on
through,
purpose?
It was on purpose. Yeah, I'll out him right here. He was
Oh,
going through.
no.
He's going through 3 and 4, and I just see a blue flash on my inside, and I was like, damn.
He should have won the race. He was texting while driving down pit road, going 45 miles an hour.
I'm putting that picture right here, by the way.
Him looking down at his.
Him totally oblivious, because that is hilarious. Don't text and drive, kids. It's not worth it.
I gotta ask how those restarts were from the middle of the pack, because we talked to the leaders after the race. Obviously, it's a lot different for them. The starts were unbelievable. How are the restarts? We didn't really get to see all of it.
Kyle, do you want to start, or were you not really?
I mean, by the time the one and only restart came around, I was letting people pass me that were less laps down than I were. So, I mean, I was watching them. They looked fun.
Yeah, we did have 2 restarts, by the way, Kyle. We had 2.
I wouldn't know.
Oh. Well, I didn't know if you were around for both of them. I'd say
there was a driver in the car, sure, but was he paying attention? Nah.
Well, at least he
was not home, man.
No, not home.
At least he wasn't texting and driving like some.
That's true.
Probably would have wrecked the whole field. I'd say from my spot, starting on Ryan's bumper, and Ryan, he said it a lot in his post-race interview, saying that he's a bad restarter. I don't really think he got awful restarts. I think it's really hard to judge from where he was, being outside row 1. It's really hard to judge when the leader's going to go, and you really have to be on it. And I tell you what, if it had been a plate track, me and Ryan would have waxed everybody's ass on those 2 restarts, because we were linked up, but unfortunately it was a short track, so that really doesn't help any. But I think
you didn't want to bump draft him into turn 1 at Iowa.
Even though I had that set up as a hotkey, no, I did not want to.
It's the most fun.
I took him 3 wide in the truck 200 race, and I thought he was going to turn left or turn right. I think he was on the bottom. I thought he was gonna drive through me.
Oh.
Yeah, I told him he was in good hands before I even did it. I knew what I was doing. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna just poke my nose in here between him and Zittel and probably irritate one of them," and then. Yeah, caught the wrath of die.
I'm just trying to chill, and all of a sudden I hear you're in the middle. I go, in the middle of what? And I only have one screen, so I look real quick, and I'm like, oh, that truck's blue. That's never been blue. There wasn't a blue truck there before.
Yeah, it is weird. I'm in a completely different paint and a completely different number in that series, so I'm waiting to get yelled at and go, God, who's that idiot in the 27?
That guy.
This guy.
Allstate John K, you're in good hands.
I told him I wish I'd been recording it, because that was literally the words that came out of my mouth. He's like, I can't believe you took us 3 wide. And I was like, hey man, you're in good hands. Like, I haven't raced in 3 months, but trust me, I'll take care of this. I'm real good at taking people 3 wide. I've gotten a lot better since Bristol. I guess I should clue you 2 in on that. Like season 2 at Bristol on a restart, like nobody had tires late in the race. I led a bunch of laps, and me and a couple of guys, Nathan, one of them, we pit for tires. So I had 4 fresh tires, and I took Jeremy and somebody else 3 wide on the bottom at Bristol, and Jeremy just jammed on the brakes, and he runs a lot of rear brake, right, Zittel? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of rear brake in his truck, and he immediately spun out.
Oh God.
And yeah, getting yelled at by Ryan is almost as bad as hearing Canadian Jesus go, "I'll remember that next week." I wish I had that clip somewhere. I think I deleted that. Actually, I know where I can get that at. I can get a hold of Andy, but
we
yeah,
have that.
yeah, you don't want to catch the ire of Canadian Jesus. But yeah, I'm pretty good at taking people 3 wide. I've had a lot of practice at it. But yeah, I guess to get back on point, the restarts were fun. That's where this whole circle went. The restarts were fun, and I think Ryan, if he sees this, needs to take it a little easier on himself because he got pretty decent restarts. Chad's really good. Chad's not the same driver he was even like last season. So
Yeah.
He's on
beginning of the season,
tear.
Chad was whooping. I mean, he was going off in the first part of the season, so he's kind of slowed down a little bit. But
yeah,
because he's not been here as often.
Right.
That's true.
I swear, all that dude does is race. Because I've had people put in Discord like at like 4 a.m, like, "Hey Chad, you want to hop in Discord together and talk through this race?" It don't matter. I swear, I don't think that dude sleeps. I don't know if he eats. He races.
You sit in random lobbies and you're just waiting to race, and you look up or you look in the corner and it says Chad Stearns is connected. You're like, I just raced you for 165 laps.
Yeah.
What do you do? Why do you need more?
A while.
Matt, I could be wrong about this, but I think in the first league that you and I did together, that Chad Stearns was in that league.
Really?
And in MDI TV, yeah, I think so.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
I think so. He at least like raced like with that group sporadically.
League, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look.
All he does is race.
That's
crazy.
Dude is everywhere.
Yeah. Never you're gonna find Chad Stearns.
Right. So for you two guys, I know I kind of looked a little. You guys grew up in Illinois together and stuff. Where did you guys kind of come together and go, "Hey, let's broadcast some racing together"?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well,
so we went to high school together, and then I now live in Nashville, Tennessee. So we don't live anywhere close to each other anymore, thank God. But but we've just always loved racing, and we would like watch NASCAR races in Discord together and whatnot. And I had been messing around streaming, not broadcasting iRacing, but just streaming like games and different stuff like that ever since college. And I don't know if it was this specifically, but we were in a league at one point where we were like, I think we could do better.
Yeah.
And that's kind of pretty much what started. We were like, if these guys are getting paid and we can do better, why are we not doing this? So that's kind of how it started, I think.
Yeah, how long have you guys been doing the broadcast stuff?
So we I got on iRacing at the beginning of 2021. You had been on for probably a year before that.
About a year, yeah. I was in 2020,
so we decided we were going to start a league at the beginning of 2022.
Yep, last year.
And so we just started doing like a few broadcasts here and there, kind of at the end of 21. And the league sort of fell apart, and then we kind of stopped broadcasting. The first league that we got was actually the Daredevils, and a total like chance happening that we got that. And then that was the only thing that we did until Venom came along, actually. So we did 2 seasons of Daredevil, like I think the penultimate race of Daredevil season 2 lined up with, or the night before was the opening night of season 5 for Venom Trucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was basically we had 18, I'd say 25 nights of racing before Venom Trucks came along.
Yeah, and we had the Daredevil guys. They have a Pro 2 Lights road course league that they were doing as well.
Total
so
meme.
We got to, yes, very much meme racing, but
Yeah.
they asked us to do that too. So that was a lot of fun.
Is that what the Thunderdome stuff is?
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Absolutely.
The Thunderdome.
Absolutely, that's what the Thunderdome was. Rest in peace.
And unfortunately, we don't have those because we started out on Twitch rather than YouTube, and those are pretty much just
We've got
forever.
Well, I lost our best one. I will say
one?
that, but yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
But I do have 3 more. I haven't uploaded them yet. I need to, and I will. Somebody hold me to it, please.
Get it done. Get it done.
Yes, sir. I will.
That sounds like my YouTube channel. I used to have stuff just piled up that I'm like, yeah, I need to upload that. Whatever, it'll get uploaded at some point.
If you guys like memery, Thunderdome is the place to be. They told us to pretty much just go buck wild, and we sure did.
Yeah. That sounds like a Venom Pro-Am turned.
I was gonna say. It sounds like the thing we did for Christmas turned into a league. 6 races that make absolutely no sense at all.
We also ran, I think it was a week 13 was the Pro Lights at Watkins Glen, and everybody was just cutting the bus stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's our favorite.
Because
I absolutely love it.
Because the slowdown penalty is like once you go into the cares, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Long right hand after the bus stop. Yeah. It's it takes your slowdown penalty away because you're going so slow through it. So it just it's like I feel bad because I ruined Brandon Byers' race doing that. I ran out of gas coming out of the cares and I just hung a right in front of him and just destroyed him.
Talk about right.
Yeah. So I know we kind of talked about it off camera in the little chat we set up because I was trying to keep you guys being a guest as secretive as possible. Because this is cool. It's the opportunity, to learn about new people. I feel like most of the people we've had on the podcast are pretty active in Discord. You guys are pretty active, but you're still new, so this is a good chance to get you out on the platform. But what kind of stuff do you guys like racing on iRacing?
Tommy.
Go. Oh God. Okay.
The Formula V king over here, Tommy Cook.
How embarrassing.
It's not that I didn't I spammed Formula V to try and get out of Rookie Road, but that's as far as I go with that. And doing the downhill now, the Soapbox Derby, that was fun. But
yes,
honestly, after being introduced to the Lotus 79, it's the best car in the service. It is an absolute blast. It can run on pretty much anything other than dirt. It's so much fun. I need to get a better road rating so I can actually race official races in it. But it's so much fun to meme. NASCAR trucks is like my number 2. So I guess really the things that we showcase on the channel, midgets is number 3. So yeah. So that's and sprint cars as well. That's my real life application to that. I'd say that's my Mount Rushmore of iRacing vehicles.
Yeah. Before I start, I want to mention with the Daredevil series that will be coming back. It may be changing hands in the future.
I was gonna say we haven't announced anything about this, but I'm down.
You have a schedule out for it. So
yeah, I only shared it with 3 people, but that's all right.
Oh well, I didn't know.
This is a good platform to announce that.
Yeah, nobody
make that 5.
Daredevil is coming back, and we are doing it because RAL is they're not ceasing to exist. They're changing into a media aggregator rather than an iRacing league, which is an interesting swap, but they're doing a really good job with it. So we didn't want to lose Daredevil, so we will be doing Daredevil, and there will be more details about that soon.
Yeah, we just love it too much. Where I was going with that is some of you guys should also do it because it's a ton of fun.
Absolutely,
So I would hoping to get some crossover drivers in that because they're a blast to drive. As far as how I even got started on the service, I went to Dirt in December in St. Louis, the indoor. It's like the Chili Bowl, but in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I went to that in 2019, and they had simulators like on the concourse that you could drive. And I was like, dang, that's super cool. I want to do that. And after Christmas that year, I bought a wheel off Facebook Marketplace, and I started doing dirt sprint cars. And that's all I did for the first year. I never touched asphalt for probably the first year that I had iRacing. So unfortunately, the sprint car community kind of died a little bit there for a while because the car was not in a good place as far as setups and how that went. But so then I started doing the asphalt, and Tommy and I joined a truck league when he started, and that was the MDI TV league that we think Chad was also in at one point. So
probably
Yeah, I would say at first it was dirt sprints and midgets. I still really like to do midgets, even though it's my only problem with it is it's hard to actually get people that will not just wreck you.
Like me.
Well,
I-
I mean, like sort of purposefully wreck you. Like I don't know, it's just
Like
not a
me.
great community.
Like-
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I would wreck you on purpose, but we're usually in different hemispheres of the field, so usually don't have to worry about it until about 3 laps into the race when you're coming up behind me, and then I'll wreck you.
That's fair, but
I was gonna say I think midgets are a lot of. I'm not any good at them either, and I'm the guy that's more than likely gonna crash you trying to throw a slide job because it's what I do. But dirt racers are scary because they just yell at you, and I was
oh yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was running a midget race with Brandon Vyers, and he got yelled at by some Australian guy, and it was super funny. And they just spent like the whole last half of the race yelling at each other. Whoa. Not so much Vyers yelling, but the Australian guy was really mad.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And I don't know, since I mean, pretty much trucks, and then I ran an Xfinity series. I actually really like the next gen Cup car. I was in a series that was supposed to do the whole NASCAR season last year.
Oh, were you?
Unfortunately, I was. You were
Yeah.
also there.
Yeah, thank you.
Unfortunately, it dissolved in like May last year, so we didn't get to finish the season. But I would say, and after that dissolved, I pretty much haven't raced at all. We've been doing broadcasting, and that's pretty much it. So I've been trying to race a little bit more. I've been doing a couple officials this week, so trying to get back into it. But
Yeah,
the last half of the year has been strictly broadcasting and video making, pretty much.
Round of applause for Matt dipping his toes back into officials. I sent him a friend request on Discord, and Tommy goes, he's in the middle of a race. He hasn't raced in like a year. I was like, at least you didn't.
I was greeted with a first lap turn 2 crash from the leaders and immediately getting spun out into the wall. So
That's how my IndyCar race at Darlington went last night too.
oh gosh.
You're what?
Yeah, I'm in an IndyCar league with RIL. This is their last season, but they decided to run at Darlington, and I qualified last on purpose and made it to turn 2, and the guy in front of me clipped the apron and like washed up the track in front of me.
Oh my god.
Where are you gonna go? But
Oh
like
my
somehow I didn't completely junk the car. I had 5 minutes of required, and I only went 9 laps down. So
Wow.
but then I
That's
crashed again. So
that's more impressive.
So write that down. Write that down.
Right. Got it, yeah. The
What's
IndyCar.
that? I finished the race 31 laps down, but I finished 15th.
Wow.
It was that kind of race.
God.
That's man, that sounds like an experience that needs to be had. Indy cars that are US open wheel cars.
Yes.
At
Yes.
Darlington.
Yes.
U.S. open wheel C car at Darlington.
I'm a big fan of the Lady in Black. That's probably one of my favorite tracks. Not just because I won there, but because I just love it. It's
In cars that belong there.
in anything. I'm not gonna complain. So obviously, you two guys, we can see all the memorabilia behind you. NASCAR fans through and through. Obviously, you wouldn't be on. I would assume. Well, I guess it's not fair to assume because there's so much stuff on iRacing, but NASCAR fans, the Blaney hoodie, I'm a big fan of that. I don't know where my Blaney hat's at, or I would have wore it to match. But yeah, when did you guys start watching NASCAR? I know you guys were talking about sitting in Discord watching races together. When was the fandom beginning? No, that don't work, but we're gonna stick with it. When did you guys start watching NASCAR? Favorite drivers? Some of your favorite races growing up?
Matt's story is more interesting than mine, so I'll let him go.
Gosh. I was actually just talking to somebody about this who I don't know, I was probably 9, maybe 8. I guess I would have been 8 at the time. My dad's best friend from high school, he would do Daytona 500 parties every year. And the very first memory I have of watching NASCAR is going to his place, and he worked for DuPont, so he had all the Jeff Gordon stuff, and he actually would take people to races. That was like part of his job. So It was pretty cool. He had everything you can imagine, Jeff Gordon. And so I, of course, saw that, became a Jeff Gordon fan, and it was the 2004 Daytona 500. I think it was 2004 that Jeff won that year. That's the very first memory. Was it 5? Thanks, Tommy.
I think, yeah.
Anyways, whatever year that was, that's the very first memory I have of watching NASCAR and like enjoying it, I guess. And ever since then, I've always enjoyed it. I actually grew up in more of a motorcycle family, though. But I mean, we love all motorsports. But I actually grew up more with dirt bike racing and also road racing, road motorcycle racing as well. The very first NASCAR race I ever went to was the 2011 Brickyard 400, and Paul Menard's only win of his career happened that day.
The most boring man in motorsports.
Oh gosh!
And who did he beat to get that win, Matt?
He beat my man Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
So the first time I went to Indianapolis, I got to see Jeff Gordon win his final Brickyard 400.
So we always joked. I grew up a Jeff fan, and then after he retired, I was like, "Well, who am I gonna root for now?" And Tommy goes, "Well, you have to be a Paul Menard fan now."
I think he had just gone over to the Wood Brothers at that point, so
yeah,
it's like it's got to happen.
I was a closeted Paul Menard fan for a few years.
They, as a 100% can confirm, there's a Menards literally a block from my house. I can see it from my apartment. They still use Paul Menard, Wood Brothers, everything for everything. They're like, Ryan Blaney drives for who? Not me. It's Paul Menard. Because my kid, this is a guy who obviously runs Menards.
Yeah.
It's just going to plaster his kid all over the place.
That's actually kind of cool. I've never been in a Menards, so I didn't know that was a thing. I do remember watching that race, though, the Brickyard race. I caught the tail end of it. And I was, I think it was at my great uncle's house or something like that, and watching it after the Kentucky Derby or Preakness or something.
So
Tommy,
that's
yours?
my history of NASCAR. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. My dad was a big racing fan. I guess still is. He still is a big racing fan. Sorry, Dad. Didn't want to write his obituary on the podcast here. Yeah, my dad's still a big racing fan. He I don't know. There's a picture of me somewhere as an infant, and I'm wearing a Jeff Gordon zip up windbreaker. So I have been indoctrinated as a racing fan for my entire life. Couldn't really tell you the first race that I watched, though. I think the first race I remember watching was the 2007 Daytona 500, but I know I'd been watching for way before that.
Yeah, that's Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, right? 07. Yep. Yeah, that's a crazy one to watch. Actually, it's kind of funny, Matt, that you went to Daytona 500 parties, and that's kind of how you started being a NASCAR fan. At least that's what I gathered from your story.
Yeah, definitely.
My birthday, which is tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday, the 23rd.
Oh.
My birthday is tomorrow, the 24th.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. It usually obviously ends up around Daytona time, so we would always do my party the weekend of the 500, and we'd all get together as a big family, and we'd all put in $1 in the pot and watch the race and pick a driver to win. I don't remember if it was exactly the day of my birthday. I feel like that's too late for it to have happened. I was a big Jimmy Johnson fan growing up, and I picked Jimmy to win. I think it was 06? Mm-hmm. 06, yeah. Picked Jimmy to win the 500, and he won. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Favorite driver won on my birthday, and all that stuff. I was pretty jacked up.
Nice.
If we're talking about things that seeing live that just rips your heart out because your favorite driver doesn't win, the 2014 Cobalt 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I had been going for about 4 years now. My dad had been to every cup race run at that track since the day it opened. So then he started taking my sister and I. We're there, we're watching, Junior's winning, and I'm just like, oh my god, he's actually going to win a race. I'm going to watch this. He's going to win a race. And we got the headphones and I'm listening. And he's talking to, I think Letard was still his crew chief. Or it might have been the guy before him, but whatever. He's going, you're like 2 laps short. And he just keeps telling him, you're 2 laps short. You're 2 laps short. And, you can't hear anything. And I finally get in my dad's ear and I scream at him. He's 2 laps short. And he goes, why the f*** is he running so hard? I go, oh. So they throw the white flag, and he's out in front by like 3 seconds. I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. He gets to the backstretch, and to which my dad calls the dreaded wiggle. He just, and just falls to the bottom of the track. I just...
Was that during his winless streak?
No.
Okay.
No, that ended in 2012, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Letarte, by the way. They just talked about this on Dale Jr.'s podcast.
Oh, really? That's even better.
Didn't Paul Menard finish second in that race? I'm pretty sure he either finished second or he ran out like right behind Junior. It was one of the two.
Junior still finished second.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they were so far out in front that he still finished second. I walked out of that racetrack just staring at the ground the entire walkout, and I'm not a kid either. I'm an adult, acting like this is never going to happen again. We get to a crosswalk right before the parking lot, and I finally look up, and I look at my dad, and I go, "Did you ever see Earnhardt win?" He looks me dead back in the eye and goes, "Nope. He ran out of gas at Michigan. He ran out of gas at Charlotte. He hit a bird in Michigan. He crashed in Michigan. No." I said, all right. Guess that makes me feel a little better.
Kyle
I got
literally. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Kyle literally told us that story in Facebook Messenger yesterday. So it is cool to see it told live.
It was just the most devastating thing I had ever seen.
I've never experienced disappointment like that with a favorite driver in person. I've certainly had winners that I've been disappointed by, or one that seemingly keeps winning at the races I go to.
Have.
Yeah, but my stepdad, we made a whole big summer trip right before my senior year to go up to Watkins Glen to watch the Cup race up there. And he is a huge Kevin Harvick fan, like a mega Kevin Harvick fan. So, we just picked like the most boring Watkins Glen race of all time. One car retired the entire race. It was Tony Stewart. He blew an engine halfway through the race, and he was the only car that didn't finish. But like Kevin Harvick is putting on like an ass whipping. And all of a sudden, coming through turn 6, which we are seated in turn 7, the final turn, coming around turn 6, Kevin Harvick is out of gas. And who comes by but Joey Logano, who is he's Joey Logano, So I just watched like the life force drain from my inebriated stepfather, and he is very upset. And we were planning on leaving the campground that night, but we did not. So we were also awoken by bagpipes at 4 a.m. So that's Watkins Glen is a great time. Somebody playing bagpipes in a truck bed.
That's horrible. Oh my God. That's terrible.
Also, another good story. Tommy and I got to see Joey Logano drag the jack around the track at Talladega and then win the race.
Oh my God!
I've seen Joey Logano win at Bristol Dirt. I've seen Joey Logano win at Talladega 2 times. I've seen Joey Logano win at Gateway. Where else have I seen Joey Logano win? That can't be it. I've seen Joey Logano win 6 times. Just for the record.
Note to self: do not take Tommy to a race with you. Got it. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Don't.
I was going to say, because this photo has a Joey Logano story where we're sitting there just watching driver introductions, and I think it was Buffer goes, "You're starting whatever," in the number 22, and me and John, who are sitting next to each other, stand up and boo mercilessly. I throw out many hyphenated swear words down to a man that cannot hear them. there is a guy probably 8 rows below us that turns around and looks at us, and I thought he was going to cry. And my answer to that was to boo directly at him.
Yeah, he wasn't even 8 rows in front of us. This dude, it was literally like 1 row in front of us. He just turns around and goes, "What's your guys' problem with Joey Logano?" And Kyle goes, and Kyle just unleashed hell on him. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Also, I would like to point out, BJ McLeod has probably never gotten louder cheers in his life than he did that night at Bristol.
We love BJ McLeod.
Yeah.
An entire row of people stood up, cheered for the guy starting last.
When I get BJ McLeod in Wheel of Doom, I am not trading. I'm not respinning. It's not happening.
Well,
BJ stands for best driver. All right,
Yep.
and that is a fact. Count it.
Stands for best something.
You're not.
Tell him your NASCAR Reddit story, Tommy.
I was gonna say you don't have to worry about anybody trading you for BJ.
No,
because nobody.
I realized
BJ.
that when I said that. Yeah, that nobody was probably going to do that.
No,
it's okay.
So what's funny is before we started too, I was half telling a story about how these two even come into this picture, are here, mess around with us, do the same kind of stuff that we do. It all starts as also a funny story. So I had been posting posts about our recruitment race. Ryan made a nice little picture. I threw it up there, Facebook, whatever. I said, hey, come out and do these. You know, let's get some more people. Maybe a broadcast partner. Because we knew we weren't getting a broadcast partner, our old one, back. So I throw it out there. Tommy replies, hey, you got anything about broadcasting? And I'm like, well, I'll get to it whenever. Ryan runs the whole show. I go, hey, what are we doing about this broadcasting? What broadcasting? I said, okay. What do you mean, what broadcasting? We don't have a budget for that. I said, okay then. Well, guess I'm not answering that. And I just left it. So a Sunday morning rolls around. Me, my dad, my uncle, my dad's buddy, we're golfing. Just whatever, just messing, playing golf like we always do. I look at my dad and I go, we're not getting broadcasted this year. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, guy we had last year isn't doing it. And we don't have the budget for it. Well, you need a budget? How much is it? I go, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 bucks? Child's play. What? I'll pay for it. I said, you'll do what? Yeah, your mom likes watching. Just figure it out. Okay. I hit my tee shot. I go back to my car and I pick up the phone and I go, where's that post? Where's that post? I text Ryan. I send him your guys' Facebook page or YouTube page that has probably 4 Daredevil races on it. I go, watch this. I go, watch these. I don't know. I said, I can't really watch them because he'll go, what the hell are you watching? Why aren't you paying attention? I go, watch these. I don't know. Just watch them. I already told the dude I'd talk to him. He goes, watch what? I go, watch the races. Tell me if they're good. He goes, well, yeah, they're good. I go, okay. I said, like $30 good? He goes, sure. I said, okay, fine. And that's the exact message I said to Tommy was, how much? I said, sounds good. We like it. How much? Well, people don't have blah, blah, blah. How's $20? I'm like, fantastic. I looked at my dad. I go, it's $20. He goes, okay.
Zittle's dad is a part of the mob, by the way.
I said, are you serious? He goes, yeah. I'll spend $240 on something worse. I go, okay.
Well,
I said, wow, this is happening.
Thank you to Kyle Zittle's dad for giving us a job.
Wow. I did not know that. I didn't know any of that. That's incredible.
No, trust me. the first time, and then I told my wife, I go, you're not going to believe who is getting my league broadcasted. Who? I go, my dad. Why? I don't know. He's got nothing to watch on Tuesdays. So yeah, that's how Turn 200 shows up in Venom.
How does it feel knowing you're sponsored by or you're funded by Mob Money?
Great.
Better now.
Couldn't feel better.
Better than Saudi money.
The joke is that my dad works at a health clinic that is for the Teamsters Union.
Oh.
So Waste Management, UPS, all those people. So the joke is that my dad knows Teamsters. And people go, what are Teamsters? And I go, you ever heard of Jimmy Hoffa? They go, no. I go, Google Jimmy Hoffa. My dad knows those people. Which he doesn't. He knows 6 rungs below them that we'll never see those people.
But does he know where Jimmy Hoffa is, though? That's the real question.
I don't know. You want to ask him?
No.
No, he doesn't know.
Thank you for the job, sir. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
That's incredible. I didn't even know that story. I know Ziddle messaged me and he's like, I think we're gonna get broadcasted. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize the other guy, what happened with the other guy.
No, I didn't know we were losing a guy, and I'm like, well, I guess we'll figure it out sooner or later. But I can tell you that they will be here when we start up again after the last 4 races.
What does that mean?
That means season 6. These two.
Let's
the booth.
go.
Heck yeah, baby.
I'm kind of hurt because I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, can we announce that on the podcast? And he goes, no, nothing's set in stone yet. Stole my thunder.
It's pretty set in stone.
I like it. I'm glad. I know I'm glad. I feel like you guys, Tommy and Matt, do such a great job representing the league. You obviously fit in really well. You're always chopping it up in Discord and messing around with us. Me and Matt have beef, but we'll settle that at some point.
I can't wait for that. I also apparently have beef, so
I've been waiting all episode to slide that in. I don't like my nickname, although it's not my nickname anymore because I have a home. But
it will always be your nickname.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Forever. Nathan took my Turn 200 truck and turned it into a truck for officials with a big 2 on it because I like the 2's just. Works better, I guess. I don't know. I'm a diva. Shut up, Ziddle. I see that face. But he literally put on the banner, he took the Turn 200 off of it for the officials, and he put the infamous homeless hero on the banner.
Oh, what have I started?
Oh God.
So
I knew this would snowball beyond your control if you kept pushing it. And look where we are. Look what happened.
We've got beef.
We'll workshop some new nicknames.
Cool.
I tried Allstate John K earlier. I'm not sure on that one yet.
No.
I like that.
It wasn't the worst.
I don't know. Well, something will come up, I'm sure.
I can say that the first after Daytona, we all watched your guys' broadcast back, and I can't say the very first thing we all said was, "Holy shit!" They actually went back and read our Discord. Because it didn't feel like a race you guys just showed up and said, all right, we're here now. Let's start history from here and move forward. It was looking back and doing all the stuff. Because it starts with, we ran here last year. Kyle Ziddle won and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, holy shit, they actually read it. Which is leaps and bounds over what we did have.
And that's... I do this in real life, not with NASCAR, obviously, but like homework is in my DNA now. I hate schoolwork sucks, but this isn't schoolwork. This is fun homework. I get to keep my own stats and keep my own notes and test my own memory and stuff. This is nerd heaven for me. And it's it's honestly like I would always my dad would always build me like NASCAR like tracks on like a plank of wood, and like I would get all the cars out and play and like make up like lore and all that stuff. It's like this is like getting to do that, but like I don't have to push the cars around. It's like they get to make
Yeah.
all the stuff up themselves, and it's like I just get to keep track of it. That's great.
I will say it's a perfect match between me and Tommy because he keeps track of all the stats. He's the actual broadcaster between us. He's killer at it. He's super good. And I'm the one that builds computers. I like the tech stuff. And I also love racing too. So it's like a perfect match. He does all of that. He prepares for the races super well. And I get to run the actual broadcast and just kind of add my 2 cents in there. And it's like a perfect match between us.
Yeah, the chemistry is unbelievable, and I would agree with that. I think you guys. Well, it sounds weird from an outsider's perspective. Sorry, but yeah, I would have had no idea if you guys said you'd been doing this for like 6 years. I wouldn't have batted an eye. So the fact that you guys like picked up Venom, finishing your first season with RIL,
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Yeah,
Second season.
second season.
Really,
Okay.
first full year, but it's only
Yeah.
it was their 2 combined seasons are the length of one of your seasons. So.
Right. So the fact that you guys are as good, like broadcast, like production wise, and storytelling, and the broadcasting aspect of it, actually talking and doing. I mean, I think it's the easy stuff, but at the same time, it can be kind of difficult, especially like Tommy said, if you don't do your homework. You guys do a phenomenal job, and it's incredible. I'm very thankful that we have you guys around, and hopefully we keep you around for a lot more than just season 6.
I hope so. I hope
Absolutely.
so.
Zittel, any final words?
Missing the next 2 races.
What?
I got mafia business.
Somebody.
No, I'm taking my yearly vacation to Vegas.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, turn 200 at Chicago will be my last league race for 2 weeks.
So you're not even going to get to do Atlanta, which I had
Nope.
you like.
I would have. Trust me, if I ran Atlanta and wrecked out of Atlanta, I probably would have just hijacked your broadcast and just said, "I'm sitting in here now."
We would have
Hey,
welcomed it, honestly.
I did that once for the pre-race in Nashville. But yeah, that's you guys got any last things you want to mention, or obviously plug the YouTube channel, Facebook if you've got it, anything you guys want to plug?
I didn't tell Matt this, but I started working on a Facebook page yesterday, so
beautiful.
we'll have a Facebook page up.
There's a Turn 200 imposter out there.
So that is like the guy that we sort of took the name from.
Oh, okay.
So he had a production, like an actual like live production company called Turn 200 Productions, and then
So when I'm plugging Turn 200 Productions, I'm not plugging anything, right?
No, it is, but it's not.
We started out as Turn 200 Productions, and then we went to Turn 200 iRacing.
So, but
Turn 200.
But that's my friend. He's like gifted us the name because he can't freelance anymore. He's on a big team that won't let him freelance. So we sort of took his freelance name and took it out of the real world and put it in the sim. So that's kind of how that happened. But I also will be missing North Wilkesboro, so it'll just be Matt on that broadcast. So that'll be a good time for you.
Say some prayers, boys.
Get to do everything. Yeah, congratulations. I will also be on vacation, so I won't be able to partake.
That would be unfortunate. I ran really good at Wilkesboro last time we were there, so it'd be unfortunate if you were gone and I won. Had to get interviewed by that guy.
That is the Jesus. That is the throwback race too. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we always do a little throwback to older paint schemes in our league. They've always come out looking really good too.
I know one paint scheme is gonna be fire because the person asked for the TGA. I'm excited to see it.
But yeah, other YouTube stuff. We got Recap 200 on Mondays after NASCAR Cup weekends. I am working on 2 things that will be coming out soon-ish that I'm excited about. Matt is killing it in the shorts department, and the shorts are killing it in the shorts department because they are like driving traffic to our channel like hand over fist. It is insane. So
yeah. So if anybody in Venom's trying to get a YouTube channel kind of more eyeballs on it, I would recommend shorts. I mean, I just randomly started producing shorts and posting them, and the very first one was about NASCAR banning the Ross Chastain move, and it got like 1,700 views right out the gate.
Like,
so
wow, literally, not hyperbole,
like
literally overnight. Yeah, like 1,700 views, insane. Like,
so
never pulled those sort of numbers.
That's a good way to get eyeballs on it.
Yep.
Noted. I'm sure there'll be a short made out of this somewhere. There was a lot of good moments. Well, it's turned 200 on YouTube, right? Just turned 200.
Yep, it's just turned 200 now. We
200.
We dropped the iRacing because we've started lumping a bunch of other stuff in, so it's time to go simple. Just turned 200.
Yep. Make sure to check that out. Zit'll have fun on vacation. Make sure to like and subscribe on this video. Like the video. Subscribe to my channel. I'm close to 100 subscribers.
Nice.
Yeah.
I won a Daytona 500 too. Go watch that. That was pretty cool. Like 80 laps, a lap down. Made it happen somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, that's all we've got for you this week. Chicagoland turned 200 Monday, 8, right? 8 Eastern.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Atlanta Venom on Tuesday, 8 Eastern. Now that Zittle's not here, I could possibly win a super speedway. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Wow, being homeless sucks.
Being homeless sucks.
The
115
is the nickname that came from it.
Oh God.
What? Oh, the nickname? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is my face every time that gets brought up. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I have a new nickname. Okay, so update. I didn't have any water, so I'm gonna leak my my next turn 200 scheme.
Hell yeah. I didn't have water either, so.
What do you mean? That is water.
That is water.
Yeah.
Right.
I drink Bush Heavy.